Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. I was sorting laundry when I heard the voice message. It wasn't supposed to be suspicious. It came from my husband's phone, which was charging on the dresser beside the pile of neatly folded shirts. A harmless notification sound, the same as always. But curiosity is a strange thing. I don't know what compelled me to press play. Maybe it was the softness in the sender's name flashing across the screen. Amber, work assistant. The message began with laughter. Light, teasing, breathy laughter. Then her voice, hushed and low. Good night, Daddy, don't stay too late without me. The sound of her lips brushing the phone microphone made my stomach twist. For a moment, I froze, my fingers still clutching one of Mark's shirts. His cologne filled the air, the faint trace of cedar and something darker, like smoke. My mind tried to rearrange what I'd just heard, to find some innocent explanation that could make sense of it. Maybe it was a joke. A weird office inside joke. Maybe she called everyone Daddy. But that kind of laughter, slow, playful, dripping with familiarity, wasn't professional. It was intimate. I hit replay. Again. And again. Until the sound of her voice began to feel like a needle in my chest. When Mark came home an hour later, the sound of his key in the lock jolted me. I tossed his phone onto the bed like it had burned me and quickly folded the rest of the laundry, pretending nothing had happened. Hey, babe, he said, stepping inside, his tie loosened and his smile tired. You're still up? I smiled back. Too easily. Too quickly. Just finishing up some things. He leaned down and kissed my cheek. His lips were warm, familiar, and yet, I flinched. He didn't notice. We ate dinner in silence that night. I watched him scroll through his phone, laughing softly at something. I wondered if it was her. If she was texting him right now, calling him Daddy again while I sat across from him in my old t-shirt, the one he said made me look cozy. Later, when he went to shower, I checked his phone again. Locked. Of course. He'd never locked it before. That was the first red flag I couldn't rationalize away. The next few days blurred into quiet suspicion. Every ping of his phone felt like a threat. He'd started working late more often, claiming reports, client calls, unexpected meetings. Amber's name appeared on his call logs, but always during office hours. She was careful. One afternoon, I decided to visit his office. I told myself it was a surprise, bringing him lunch, like the supportive wife I'd always been. The receptionist greeted me warmly, her smile flickering only slightly when I mentioned Mark. Oh, she said, he stepped out for a meeting, with Amber, I think. Her tone carried something, hesitation, discomfort, maybe pity. Do you know where? I asked. She hesitated, then said, Conference Cafe, just across the street. I walked there, my pulse hammering in my ears. The cafe was dimly lit, crowded with murmured conversations and clinking cups. And there they were, Mark and Amber, seated in the corner booth. He was laughing, leaning close. She was touching his wrist. It was such a small gesture, so casual, but I saw how he didn't pull away. I saw the way he looked at her, eyes soft, familiar. It was the look he used to give me when we were newly married. They didn't see me. I turned and left before I could decide what to do next. That night, when he came home, I didn't confront him. Instead, I watched him kiss me goodnight and crawl into bed beside me, his breathing slow, steady. I listened and wondered if his mind was still with her. My heart was a storm of questions. Why her? Was I not enough? Was I blind, or just naive? 2 days later, I got my answer. While cleaning the guest bathroom, I found a small, clear lip gloss tube behind the sink, an unfamiliar brand, a shade of pink too young for me. I held it up to the light, and my chest tightened. When I asked him that evening, my voice barely held steady. Mark, did someone use our bathroom while I was gone? He frowned. What? No. Why? I showed him the lip gloss. His pause was too long. His face shifted, flickered between confusion, fear, and guilt before he masked it. It must be yours, he said finally. You probably forgot. I don't wear pink, I whispered. He didn't answer. The silence between us grew heavy. A week later, I followed him. I waited until he said he had another late meeting and trailed his car at a distance. He didn't drive toward the office, he turned down a quieter street, into a small boutique hotel. I parked nearby, my hands shaking on the steering wheel. He went inside. So did she. I saw her step out of a cab, laughing, her hair loose around her shoulders. I sat there for 20 minutes before I went in. The receptionist gave me a practiced, polite smile, but when I said my husband's name, her face faltered. He just checked in, she said softly, like she already knew what this was. I walked down the hallway, my heart pounding. The carpet muffled my steps. I stopped outside the door she'd mentioned, room 314, and lifted my hand to knock. But I didn't. I heard her laugh through the door. The same laugh from that voice message. Something inside me broke. Not loudly, not violently. Just a slow, quiet fracture that spread through every part of me. I turned and walked away. He came home late again that night. I was sitting in the dark, waiting. How was the meeting? I asked. My voice didn't tremble this time. He froze. What meeting? The one at the hotel, I said. The silence that followed was unbearable. His face paled. Then came the excuses, disbelief, denial, anger, apologies. Each word felt like a knife twisted deeper. I didn't mean for it to happen, he said finally, his voice breaking. She was there for me when you weren't. When I wasn't. My voice rose. When I was busy keeping this house, keeping us together. He reached for me. I stepped back. I love you, he said, tears in his eyes. Please, don't throw this away. But it wasn't me who threw it away. It was him. Piece by piece. Message by message. Touch by touch. The next morning, I packed a bag. As I zipped it shut, his phone buzzed again. Another message from Amber. Don't worry, it read. She'll forgive you. She has to. I smiled through my tears. No. I didn't have to. I left the phone unlocked on the table, with her voice message still open, the one that started it all. And as I walked out the door, the only sound in the house was her laughter echoing softly from the speaker.